Did you know that you are eating foods every day that are wrecking your gut health? These foods you eat every day are not only destroying your gut, but they are also the main culprit behind your lack of energy, weight gain, and so many other health issues you may be dealing with. This is why you need to know what these gut-wrecking foods are so you can replace them and get your gut health and energy back. Stick around because we've got a list of the most commonly used but seriously harmful foods, and you won't believe what takes the top spot. Now let's dive into the 8 foods that are wrecking your gut health. Up first is a type of food that you probably ate recently and is wrecking your gut right now as you watch this video. This is a class of foods referred to as GMO foods. Number 1. GMO foods. Genetically modified organisms, or GMO foods, are relatively new players in the food scene, and while research is still unfolding, there are some concerns worth noting. One biggie is the herbicide glyphosate, which is often used on GMO crops like corn. This stuff can throw your gut microbiome off balance, and that's not a good thing. Then there's the issue of genetically modified genes in the foods we eat. Some studies suggest that when we chow down on GMO foods, the artificial genes can mess with the friendly bacteria in our gut, which interferes with their jobs, like digestion, detoxification, hormonal balance, and the immune system. And it doesn't stop there. Some GMO corn varieties come with Bacillus thuringiensis, or BT, which is a natural pesticide. The main issue with this pesticide is that it takes a long time for it to leave your gut, which causes some real mayhem. All of these potential gut and health issues are reason enough to consider avoiding GMOs when you can. Your gut and overall well-being will thank you. Up next is a food that is really tasty but can be quite dangerous because of the oils that are used for this food. These foods are referred to as fried foods. Number 2. Fried foods. Fried foods can really mess with your gut in several ways. First off, they're a major trigger for a nasty condition, where stomach acid splashes up into your throat. Now, that's not all. Fried stuff is a gut villain because it's fried with inflammatory oils like canola oil and vegetable oil, which are high processed. These oils aren't just bad for your heart, they're also a pain for your digestive system and cause all sorts of havoc throughout your gut. Now, if this wasn't enough, fried meat, in particular, messes with your gut in another way. It cranks up endotoxins and causes inflammation in your body by messing with your gut's microbiome. The worst part is that eating lots of fried foods is linked to having a less diverse gut microbiome. Less diversity there can lead to issues like obesity and type 2 diabetes. So if you want to keep your gut happy, maybe go easy on the fried stuff and load up on those organic veggies. Also, if you want more gut health tips to help boost your energy and promote weight loss, then subscribe right now. Up next is a food that is probably sitting in your pantry right now, and you may have even eaten this type of food this morning. This food is a class of foods referred to as highly processed foods. Number 3. Highly processed foods. Those pre-made and ready-to-eat foods might be a lifesaver when you are in a rush, but they could be taking a toll on your gut health. The trouble lies in ultra-processed foods, which are linked to an increased risk of inflammatory bowel disease. These foods are loaded with artificial ingredients like sweeteners, preservatives, emulsifiers, thickeners, and flavorings, all of which can wreak havoc on your gut. For instance, dietary emulsifiers can mess with your gut microbiome and harm your gut lining, leading to colon inflammation. But here's the good news: not all processed foods are bad. It's more about what's in them rather than how they're processed. So while you should cut down on most processed foods, there are still healthy options out there. Canned beans, canned fish, and frozen veggies are technically processed but have simple ingredient lists, making them nutritious choices. Up next is a type of food that can be super beneficial for your overall health and gut, but if you don't go with organic or pasture-raised, then this food may be doing more harm to your gut than good. This class of food is referred to as conventional meat. Number 4. Conventional meat. While non-organic meat can be nutritionally similar to organic meat, it's the source of that meat that matters. Non-organic meat often comes from animals that have been given antibiotics or hormones. This doesn't necessarily change the nutritional value of the meat, but it can impact your gut and overall health. The presence of antibiotics in non-organic meat is a concern because it can lead to the development of antibiotic-resistant bacteria strains, which can be harmful to human health. Plus, antibiotics in food disrupt the healthy balance of bacteria in your gut and even kills it. On the hormone front, the hormones given to cattle can end up in the people who consume their meat. Research suggests a possible link between hormones in food and an increased risk of certain health issues like cancer, thyroid diseases, obesity, diabetes, endometriosis, uterine fibroids, infertility, asthma, and allergies. So even though the nutrition may be similar, the source of your meat matters for your overall health. Up next may be an obvious gut killer and thief of energy. But few know how bad it is for your gut. This type of food is sugar. Number 5. Sugar. You have probably heard this before, but it's worth repeating. Going overboard with added or refined sugars can seriously mess with your gut health. We are not talking about the natural sugars in fruits and milk. It's the added stuff like white sugar, brown sugar, and various sweeteners. These sugars sneak into so many things, from cookies and candy to soda, yogurt, sauces, and salad dressings. High sugar diets, especially when they include culprits like high fructose corn syrup, amp up inflammation in your body. This inflammation can tick off your gut, messing with the protective mucus layer and kicking out some of the good gut bacteria. Over time, too much refined sugar can set you up for a bunch of chronic diseases, from obesity to heart problems and diabetes. But despite all the warnings, nearly 90% of Americans are still going way beyond the recommended daily sugar limit. The guidelines say to keep it under 10% of your daily calories, which is about 50 grams or 13 teaspoons of added sugar for a 2,000-calorie diet. And remember, going heavy on sugar can bring unintended trouble to your gut health as well. Now, after hearing that info about sugar, you may have thought that you could replace the sugar of Splenda. But unfortunately, this class of food isn't even technically a food, rather it's a poisonous chemical that is sweet but dangerous. Up next are artificial sweeteners. Number 6. Artificial sweeteners. If you were thinking about replacing sugar with artificial sweeteners, it might not be the genius move you are hoping for. These sweeteners can stir up problems like bloating, tummy aches, gas, and even some not-so-friendly bathroom trips. Not everyone reacts this way, but if you go overboard, it's a recipe for gut distress. And it gets worse. Artificial sweeteners could mess with the gut bacteria that handle metabolism, potentially paving the way for obesity and diabetes. There is solid research backing this up. A 2018 study in Molecules found that artificial sweeteners don't play nice with your gut buddies. They actually kill them. To dodge artificial sweeteners, do a quick label check to avoid aspartame, asulfame potassium, sucralose, and saccharin, which are found in the most common zero-calorie sweeteners. Instead, go for stevia, monk fruit extract, erythritol, and xylitol. Remember to stick around until the end to discover the worst food that wrecks your gut health, and subscribe right now for more gut health tips to help boost your energy and promote weight loss. Up next is a type of food or drink that can really cause some negative effects to your gut microbiome. This class of drink or food are energy drinks. Number 7. Energy drinks. Energy drinks are often marketed as a quick fix to boost your energy and sharpen your mental and physical performance. These beverages are loaded with caffeine, taurine, sugar, and various herbal ingredients. But energy drinks can do some pretty shocking stuff to your gut. Research has shown that they can mess with gut bacteria's activity, diversity, and gene expression. This can disrupt the delicate balance between good and bad bacteria in your digestive system, potentially paving the way for weight gain, fatigue, and many other diseases. As mentioned earlier, sugar is terrible for your gut. To make matters worse, the high sugar content in most energy drinks has been linked to a higher risk of obesity and type 2 diabetes. You'll find up to a whopping 21 to 34 grams of sugar per ounce in these energy boosters. And if all that wasn't enough, energy drinks can also mess with your heart. They can jack up your heart rate and blood pressure, potentially leading to serious issues like atrial fibrillation and even heart attacks. While they might promise a quick energy fix, they come with some serious health caveats. Up next is a true poison for your gut that you may have consumed last Friday night, which is alcohol. Number 8. Alcohol. Alcohol takes the top spot, not just because it's widely used, it's because it has numerous harmful effects on the gut. According to research, more than half of Americans, Europeans, and residents of the Western Pacific drink it. So no big surprise here, but let's say it again. Drinking too much alcohol can seriously mess with your gut. Research suggests that overindulging in booze can mess up the balance of your gut bacteria and set off inflammation. It might even lead to dysbiosis, an overgrowth of bacteria. causing issues like impaired digestion, acid reflux, and small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, or SIBO. When it comes to alcohol, it's not just about how much, but also what you're sipping. Enjoying a glass of quality Cabernet is a whole different story for your gut compared to downing sugary margaritas. Quality and quantity matter. Now, join the Good Gut family by subscribing right now for more life-changing gut health tips to help you lose weight, boost your energy, and help you to live your life to the full.